Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our next guest spent the first decade of his career in finance on Wall Street, leading a group of fixed income institutional analytics professionals at Global Advanced Technology and Barra. And now he's a Bronx restaurateur, entrepreneur, and investor who takes pride in his borough. He is a principal owner of Havana Cafe, Havana Room Event Space and Catering Company, and Barrio BX. And for the past 12 years, he has been fostering local business and talent, supporting young up-and-coming comics every Monday at Havana Cafe. And he's here to share a wonderful show. So please welcome restaurateur, entrepreneur, and investor Ruben Rodriguez. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And you know, Ruben, I want to thank you for investing in our community. You know, now it's a big deal because you could have just stayed in Wall Street.
Yes.
Right? But instead you chose to take that knowledge and bring it up here. And you've been cultivating this spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the food is fabulous, but the fact that you offer comedians this place that they can come to on a regular basis for 12 years, you know, that's no undertaking, right? And then there's this wonderful show that you guys are going to be producing starring Tracy Morgan.
Yes, yes. We're very excited about that after 12 years of not only developing, but, you know, hosting local comedians. The opportunity arose for us to produce and bring in a A-list comedian, you know, to the Bronx. And the most important part is that he has a Bronx connection.
Right. So you wanted to make sure that it was somebody that had Bronx roots, right? So let's just talk a little bit about your background, right? And let's talk about how this all developed and how you formed your alliances and your partnerships, because I know you partnered with Kevin Alicea, and I know Barrio BX is somebody else. I don't know his
Tony Martinez.
Right. So I don't know how many of you are involved. I know you're down with the restaurant hospitality group.
Yes.
Yes. Are you guys part of it? Did you form it? Like, give us a background.
We're not part of it. I mean, Kevin was asked to be part of the board.
Okay.
The Hospitality Alliance, and that is we get a seat at the table where a lot of policy has been discussed, and what especially during the pandemic, post-pandemic, what was the right road to recovery. So we're excited to be part of that discussion and being in the room that where it happens.
And so business-wise, how do you choose your locations as well as your food, right? Because Havana is, I would say, Cuban.
Yes.
Right? And then Barrio BX is Puerto Rican.
One is because it was an area that Kevin and I were living in, an area that my wife grew up in, and it was mostly an Irish-Italian fare in the neighborhood. But the demographics were changing when I moved in the late 90s. And then when my wife and I wanted to go out, or Kevin and his wife wanted to go out, or we wanted to go out, the choices were very limited. So the opportunity arose for us to start looking for space in that Northeast Bronx area where we noticed that it was just lacking. And in 2010, we found the right space, purchased a former Italian restaurant, and decided to open up a Cuban restaurant. And the Cuban concept, because none of us are Cuban, is because we wanted to introduce Spanish Caribbean food to a very diverse community. And we thought that sort of the Cuban experience was something that was new in the Bronx. And that was a great sort of way to open up the doors for people to come and taste. So, and it worked.
All right. So I have a question for you that's off the cuff.
Sure.
We have a guest that's going to be on later. And I just wondered, do you have Cuban sandwiches? Because he requested a Cuban sandwich. And I should have thought to ask you to bring a Cuban sandwich.
Absolutely, we have Cuban sandwiches.
All right, well, maybe we'll go there for lunch, or maybe se lo mando, I don't know.
All right, well, listen.
So what?
I'll send the Uber over so you can head over there.
Oh my gosh, can we make that happen while we're still shooting?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, we're doing this on the air. I can't even believe that. You're the
good.
man, Ruben. I love it.
Right.
So, all right. So, okay. So that's the food aspect of it. So you opened up the Cuban restaurant in this location because you really like black beans. I know you didn't say that, but I just threw that in there because for me, when I hear Cuban, I always reference black beans.
Absolutely.
Because they make the best black beans. And of course, Cuban sandwiches, but it's gourmet. It's not just sandwiches. It's not that kind of place. And you also have the catering aspect of it.
Sure. So Kevin and I came with a load of experience. We were in the hospitality industry 10 years before we opened up the restaurant. So we knew the new house. So we came into the restaurant wanting to build something more than just a restaurant. That was just the base. But we had, a decade of experience in catering. The restaurant was also a catering division. We a year and a half after opening, actually, we catered the Bronx Ball, and we've been the caterers of choice for the Bronx Ball for the past, 13 years.
Yeah, that's quite
Sure.
the undertaking. I mean, I've attended every Bronx Ball
Yeah.
every year, so I
So-
know, and
so
I
it's-
love the variety too. It's never the same.
No. Listen, that's what we do. So we cater, a lot of events in the Bronx. So we've always considered the space, the restaurant, sort of just a platform. I mean, we're a community space, so we have people that go there 3-4 times a week. We have people that go there as first timers. So we always want to introduce something new. So comedy was something that we introduced. Live salsa we introduced, bringing some of the best, DJs in the industry to sort of cover like our late night, because we're trying to expose our culture.
Right.
So it just can't be food.
Right.
It has to be our rhythms. It has to be like our traditions. It has to be like, like our sense of humor.
Right.
So,
And so is that how Barrio BX was born? Because Barrio BX right now for me is becoming its own little cultural institute.
yes.
I love it. I love everything that they're presenting on a regular basis.
So Barrio is, I mean, it says it all in our tagline, Bar
Right.
Kitchen Culture. And it happened because we opened at a time that it was like post what was happening in Puerto Rico, that we wanted to say, listen, I think we need to have a restaurant that just doesn't introduce, cuisine, that introduces a lot more of the culture. And it takes both the Puerto Rican sort of community on the island and also adds that New Yorican experience.
Yes.
Because we're thirsting for it.
Yes.
I find that my friends, they wear a lot more Boricua than some of my family members on the island. I think they
Don't
take
let them hear you say that. You said that on camera.
Yeah, I said that on camera, but it's true. I think that there's a disconnect between those on the island here that they think that we should be less proud of who we are, whereas my kids, are playing the barriles and learning how to do their bomba drums.
Right, I know.
think it's important for them.
I know you have Dr. Drum and Bomba
Yes.
Yo there every single week. I gotta
Yeah.
shout out my familia because
Yes.
I gotta tell you, I don't party when the Bomba Drums are out.
Absolutely.
And that's a full out group, and
Yeah.
it's a monthly thing, right?
Yes.
And I know you have also poetry there, and it's of course diverse, but the food is fabulous. The space
Thank
is
you.
very welcoming, and I just love everything that you guys are doing. And now you're doing this big production here at Lehman Center for the Performing Arts, featuring Tracy Morgan.
Yes, we're super excited about that. One, because obviously Tracy's an icon in the in the comedy circles, but more importantly because he's from the Bronx, and to be able to bring someone from the Bronx, and at the height of his career, is really interesting. And with our partnership with Lehman Center, it's just the right space.
Right. And so I know previously we were discussing like the dynamics in your relationship with Lehman Center because you actually cater, right?
Yes, we run the
cater
concession stands. We've
right?
been doing it for the past maybe 7-8 years. And it's a partnership. We cater and we support and, we donate to the groups that are coming in. So whether it's, Los Bam Bam from Cuba or whether it's, one of the Philharmonics. So it's great programming. I think that I've never been around a space that does so much for the community and brings so much music, into the fold.
Right. And top notch.
Top notch.
Yes.
And at a very affordable price.
Thank you for saying that. And also, not only that, I love that you are doing a lot of forward thinking, right? Because you already house these space for up and coming comedians. And I understand that seasoned comedians also come through to test out new material.
Yes.
And so here you have that as a staple. And now you're amplifying it through your relationship with Lehman Center for the Performing Arts, serving as their caterers and producing this big show, which I know is probably going to be sold out because Tracy Morgan live
Yes.
here in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Yeah.
Correct. And there's no bad seat. It's a small theater, a little over 2,000. So there's no bad seat there. So you're going to get an up and close personal experience, with the artist. So we're super excited. I think that it's going to be an awesome show. And I think that it'll be the first of many to come, I think.
Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing it here to our viewers, Ruben.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
All right,
All right.
everyone. Ruben Rodriguez, restaurateur, entrepreneur, and investor. Once again, support your local businesses. Visit Havana Cafe and Barrio BX. Havana Cafe is located at 3151, East Tremont Avenue. And don't miss, once again, the Tracy Morgan Live that's taking place on Saturday, December 9th at the Lehman Center for the Performing Arts, which is located at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard in the Bronx. For more information, you can visit lehmancenter.org. Stay tuned. There's more open when we return.